Hi everyone. I just want to make sure that everyone understands what we have to do for week 2 assignments. Some of you have sent me personal emails saying you're not sure what we have to do and where to find the assignments. So this is a good opportunity for us to review. All right, you notice where I am. I am in assignments, week 2. We start with chapter 1, Introduction to Computers, and that's a reading assignment. And you'll also notice I ask you to answer the checkpoints, the true and false, not to submit these, because what they're going to do is just help you review the information that's in the chapter, as well as my chapter 1 lecture notes and chapter 1 lecture notes video. All right, and you'll notice that you have the PowerPoint for chapter 1. You also have the lecture notes, chapter video presentations that I had created a long time ago at Hostos. Pretty much computers are the same all over the place. You'll see that you have the companion site. Again, these are all helps. They're not anything that you have to submit. Now, when you look at Excel Project 1A, let's take a look at that. Notice that I ask you to read and complete the steps in tutorial 1 from your textbook. All right, remember this is one of the books. When you click into the textbook button on the sidebar, or in the syllabus, you'll see the textbook. All right, that's the textbook. It's an e-textbook, so you have to purchase the e-textbook and look at the pages. Excel 1 through Excel 48. The textbook is a custom book. It's Excel and Access. All right, so we're starting out with Excel. So you have to buy the textbook first. You have to download the textbook so that you could open to the pages. That's where you're going to get the assignments. Notice that I ask in the second paragraph, because you will follow the steps in the tutorial, the assignment will be worth 1 point because you're following the steps. How do you follow the steps? You start with Excel 1, that's page 1. Read the instructions. They're going to tell you start, do this, do that. You'll know when to do this. All right, through 48. You submit this assignment, and I also show you how to submit your assignments down at the bottom where it says submitting an assignment. So the instructions are there for submitting an assignment. And the Excel 1A must be completed before you go on to Project 1B, because this is the model. If you don't know what you're doing with the model, you won't be able to complete Excel 1B. All right, so let's make sure we understand this. The assignments are located in the textbook. It's an e-textbook, right? The e-textbook right here. You have to buy the e-textbook. How do you purchase the e-textbook? You go into the syllabus. You'll go into, scroll down in the syllabus for textbook, and you'll see all of the information for the e-textbook, all right? Or whichever way you did it when you registered, but you have to buy the textbook. These are the pages for exercise 1A. Because you're only following steps, it's only worth 1 point. All right, but it must be submitted to get the 1 point. Now, after you completed 1A, then you go on to 1B, and you'll notice that you have to, I gave you the data file. Instead of you having to look for it and do all of that, I uploaded the data file. So you know what you do when you have an attachment. You click in, all right, and you open, etc., and download it, okay? So you have to complete case problem 4, I think, on page 55 and tutorial 1. I think I gave you the wrong page on this one. Yeah, it's problem 1B. It's problem 1. All right. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. It's a good thing I noticed this. Anyway, sorry, ladies and gentlemen. It's a good thing I noticed this, and I had 2 other people looking at this too. It's amazing how we concentrate so much on things that we forget the minor things as to the assignments themselves. All right, where will you find Excel tutorial number 1? Obviously, again, back in the textbook. After completing Excel Project 1B, I'll get to that in a minute. I just want to make sure that you know the page where we're getting the information, where we're getting the assignment. It is in the textbook, the same textbook that you use for Project 1A. So you're using the same textbook in problem 1B, all right? And the assignment is located on page Excel 55. Is problem number 1, and this assignment is worth 10 points because there are no steps that you're following. They're giving you instructions. You've already completed the model. Now you're completing the instructions for Project 1B. After you complete the spreadsheet for Project 1B, now, and this is just learning basic formulas, after completing Excel Project 1B, write a brief paragraph and post in the documentation page of the spreadsheet you created your understanding of the importance of formulas in Excel. You're also going to create a video, and I'll get to that in a minute. All right? But you understand that this is 2 parts to 1B. Well, it's really 3 parts. One, you have to complete the case, problem number 1. You have to write a brief paragraph. A brief paragraph means a brief paragraph. I'm not asking for a research assignment. I'm asking you to answer the question, your understanding of the importance of formulas in Excel. That's all. Brief paragraph could be 2 or 3 sentences, 4 sentences, nothing more than that. Not an essay, not a dissertation or a thesis. Now, in creating the video, what you're going to do in creating the video, when you scroll down, you'll see directions for creating the video, and I also gave you instructions on how to use the webcam in the Blackboard site. For the directions for creating the video, for each of the 7 Excel tutorial case problems, you must create a 3 to 4 minute video. No more than 4 minutes. Anything more than that, you have to do this succinctly. Remember, you are all professionals, so you all know that people's attention span is just going to start drifting, especially if they're listening to something or watching something on a video. Your videos must be no more than 4 minutes long. Points will be deducted if your video is more than 4 minutes. Please see the rubrics for the grading standard for the lab assignments when you post your lab assignment in Blackboard. The videos must contain the following: the purpose of the spreadsheet that you created, obviously that's already in the documentation, the explanation of the way you created the case problem, the specific formulas and reasons that you chose these formulas. Now, in this case problem, they're asking you to do a specific formula because that's the whole point of case study number 1B. It's to create the formulas. A particular feature that you learned that you found most helpful in the project, and your verbal response to the paragraph that you posted in the documentation page. So the 4 sentences or 3 sentences or 5 sentences, whatever, that little paragraph that you posted in documentation, I also want you to say it in the video. No more than 4 minutes. The video must be in the Excel screen and the cursor moving around as you explain and respond to the questions. To help you with the creation, again, I've attached all of those links. All right, and in submitting an assignment, all right, I have included, sorry, my computer's a little slower, a link to the video as well as the text. Some of you are visual learners and some of you are visual learners in terms of using a video, and some of you like to read. All right, so I used both methods, okay? So if there are any questions, please post in the Q&A. I'll make the Q&A for Excel available so that you can post your questions. Anything that's personal, make sure you send me an email. Now, let me address the issue of the LinkedIn and the wiki. Those are due later on. We just wanted to make sure that you started thinking about it. And so I'm glad that you raised the questions. 3 of us worked on this project. Again, we all thought that this was brilliant, and nobody, of course, anticipated the questions. So by Thursday, because we're all going to be meeting sometime this week to discuss the questions that you raised. So about Thursday or Friday, you will have more specific instructions, and if I have to create a screencast or a webcam, I will do so to make sure that you understand, so that we're all clear. So I thank you all for your patience, and if there are any questions on the assignment for week 2, which is the one that's due next week, all right, because your assignments are all due, you have a week to do all of your assignments. So the lab assignment is due Monday, 11 p.m., September 8th. Okay, so that's next Monday. So these are what's due. Project 1A will be worth 1 point. Project 1B will be worth 10 points. So again, any questions? And please enjoy the holiday, and I look forward to working with you and answering any of your questions. Thank you. Bye-bye.